Welcome back. I'm Richard Hosnote, and I'm your host for the Wisdom Inspired Life podcast and this Wisdom Inspired Life YouTube channel. Great to have you back here. Well, this is a conclusion of a series from the Words of Wisdom, the bigger series where I share books with you that have been important in my life to help me along my spiritual journey, to share with you to make your own decision whether that's a book or source that might be useful to you. But I want to share with you what works best for me. The principle here is that their inspiration can come from a number of sources, and you need to find the place and source that is a best fit for you. I'm sharing just for example purposes those that were very helpful to me. Okay, and one of the first and most helpful was very, very early in my spiritual journey, finding the book Living with Joy, which is now been in publication for more than 25 years, which is a rare, top 1 or 2% of very helpful books last that long, and I know that having been an author of 6 books myself. So, very powerful book for me, changed my life. Upon reading it, I decided I really did want to live with joy, and I've been on that journey ever since, and more joy comes into my life. Got a long way to go, but this book is a great reminder. In fact, actually doing this series reminds me yet again. So all of this is, I'm learning, and hopefully you're learning too. Okay, so in this concluding series, we're going to talk about embracing the new. Okay? Being open to accept new things, ideas, people into your life creates an ever-expanding capacity for joy. And I can relate to that in so many different ways. It's so true for me that being open to accept new things, ideas, and people into your life creates an ever-expanding capacity for joy. And for me, it's part of it is a recognition that what I don't know more than 99.99% of what there is to know. So discovering new things and people and everything is, it's a hoot, quite frankly. It's a lot of fun. And it keeps my mind bright and looking at new possibilities and all of that. So being open and accepting new things and ideas and people creates an ever-expanding capacity for joy. You're not in the small box of beliefs and experiences that you've been for most of your life. You expand. And you embrace those that feel right for you and go deep into them. Sometimes you go a little bit and then that's enough. Others can be a year, 5 years, 10 years that you work with. I've been working in the field of innovation now for a few decades because inventing new products and stuff like that is a lot of fun and a lot of learning goes on. And it's not only a lot of joy, but it keeps you young. I can speak from the perspective of keeping you young, for sure. So, opening to new things means trusting and having faith in yourself and others. Okay? Sometimes opening yourself to new things, you say, can be scary. Open with a certain amount of trust and verify sort of thing. It means believing that the future holds joy and promise. Believing that the future holds joy and promise. When you do that, it helps attract those kinds of things into your life. It means believing in your growth and direction, and that God will bring into our lives those things that we need to grow in the direction we need to go. The heart is the center of faith, trust, and belief. Okay? Open to new things means trusting and having faith in yourself and others. Okay? Belief is important. Joy. Every time you embrace something new, you bring into yourself a sense of aliveness. And that's kind of what I was talking about a couple of slides ago. It's exciting, it's new. When new people come into my life, it's an opportunity to learn from them and their adventures and everything. It just expands and expands, feeling alive and energized. And besides that, at least for me, it's a whole lot of fun. Okay? So do it for joy, do it also to have some fun. Okay? Opening to the new is a way of feeling more youthful, that would be me, of expanding your childlike sense of wonder and awe. Those two words, wonder and awe, are just, I love, because that's opening yourself to new things that are big, that are exciting, that are great, that are new, that are helpful. All those things kind of put together, wonder and awe. And it can be simple things. Opening yourself, just a new sunset. And I view it as God's paintbrush on the sky, and you just go, wow. Or you'll watch a nature film and you see all the insects and bugs and sea creatures and everything that God has created, and you go, wow, what an imagination. So, opening to the new is a way of feeling more youthful, of expanding your childlike sense of wonder and awe. And I think we can all use a little bit more of that. Okay? Be present. Power comes from living in the present moment, where you can take action and create the future. Eckhart Tolle's written a book, The Power of Now, all about being present. Being present. Not stuck in the past, not thinking about the future, but fully present in the now. Okay? It's a lot harder than you think, especially doing it for any more than a few seconds, and then being able to do it a few minutes. You discover this when you are, one of the great places you discover this is when you meditate. You sit down with the purpose of meditating and focusing on whatever point it is, whether it's a chakra, a mantra, breathing, whatever it is that you're going to concentrate on, and you start out by concentrating, say, on your breath. And you feel yourself breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Then thought comes zooming into your mind, says, oh, don't forget that you need to do this as soon as you're done. Oh, you might forget. Boy, really, don't forget. What have you done? You're now thinking about something that you need to do in the future, and it's just taken over the present. If you ever want an experience about how challenging it can be to be in the present, try meditating. The mind goes off into the future, it goes off into the past. And the purpose of meditation is to bring it back to that point of focus, whether it's your breath, a chakra, or whatever. Okay? Because in the present is the power comes from living in the present moment, where you can take action and create the future. Very focused. It is the power of now. It is difficult to overestimate how challenging that is, but also how important it is. And you'll discover that if you're just new to meditation, be patient with yourself, be committed. Don't be frustrated by the monkey mind that just keeps going crazy. Let it settle, and let it settle, okay? I shared with you in the meditation series what Sogyal Rinpoche shared with me about settling. He said when we sit down to meditate, we're like a jar of muddy water. And the goal is you take that and you sit down, and when you just let it settle, let your mind settle, and pick the jar up and you see it's all clear water on the top and mud on the bottom. When you settle, when you are in the present, you have clarity, okay? Difficult, but important. And a great place to do that is to discipline your mind by being present. I'm recording this about a week after Phil Mickelson won the PGA tournament at 50 years and 11 months old. New record and all of that. I'm a great fan of his. And one of the things that he's talked about is, as he's somewhat recently embraced meditation as a way of being present, being focused, being committed. So this being present thing has a whole bunch of benefits, but it's also key if you want to live a life filled with joy, and living a life full of joy is an integral component of living the wisdom-inspired life. Okay. Speaking of that, you can learn more by going to mywisdominspiredlife.com. We've got a great player there for the podcast. Learn more about me and all that sort of stuff if you are so inclined. Well, this concludes my series on living with joy. Hopefully the few snippets have captured your attention, maybe touched your heart, and you want to learn more. If it hasn't quite connected with you, realize that there maybe is another book, another teacher out there. Just be curious and start exploring about possibilities and find the one that is right for you. Okay? We all need help along the spiritual journey. So know that it's there, but you need to open up to it, be curious, and go proactively look for it. Well, as you know, I'm on a journey trying to inspire people to be more caring and compassionate, to deal with the challenges and needs that we have. In the course of that, we will increasingly start living a wisdom-inspired life. So I'm on that journey. And I look forward to continuing that journey with you.